Is the new Chery Omoda 5 1.6 engine version, the latest one, 2024, better than any of the other ones that I have reviewed so far and was rather scathing in my feedback on? Well, my friends, I'm very pleased to tell you that yes, it's different and yes, it's better. So welcome back to the channel. I'm Dimitri, this is Value Cars Australia, and I'm here to very quickly check in with you from this lovely Chery Omoda 5 1.6 version. It's a two-wheel drive version. It's not an all-wheel drive version. Engine feels more powerful, feels stronger. The drivetrain feels a lot more responsive and better if you're not opposed to DCT, because 1.5 Chery Omoda 5s had CVT transmission. This one is a DCT transmission, and I had not that long time with it just yet, but my initial impressions are that it's better tuned than previous versions, whatever it was, so that's definitely better. Electronics is not as invasive, at the very least it appears to be this way. Previous Chery Omoda 5s that I jumped in and took for a test drive, they immediately started bamboozling me with all sorts of confusing signals. Driver monitoring system, this one looking at me right now here from the placed on top of the steering wheel, that one was complaining about my sunglasses and other kind of stuff. I immediately started my experience with Omoda 5s, unfortunately on the wrong foot. And yes, I'm rather brutal with my feedback, unfortunately for the brand, I suppose, but at the same time I have to say that they've taken feedback of a lot of consumers on board, probably, maybe, and hopefully my own as well, and this is by far the best Chery Omoda 5 that I've been in. I can tell you this much. If I was the private owner right now and not a father of a big family, if I did not need to worry about people with longer legs to be put on the back seat, and if I did not have a use case of camping in the car or putting a lot into the boot, so with those things aside, I would have honestly, genuinely considered this Chery Omoda 5 1.6, and no, I would not have considered 1.5. So that is a short summary for you, if that's all the time you had for me, but hopefully you have a little bit further time for further kind of impressions and insights. It's off the cuff video, it's unscripted. This has plenty of storage. I have a feeling that this Chery Omoda 5 offers me as a driver here right now a lot more storage than my Subaru Outback 2023. I know Subaru Outback has a lot more space at the back, no pun intended, but Subaru Outback, as I reviewed it very recently, does not offer that much storage in the front, funnily enough. It's weird, I know, but it doesn't. This Chery Omoda 5 has what I personally think is a rather massive glove box. First of all, it has these award-winning, everyone praises them, and I'm not an exception, still these two massive wireless charging panels for your phone, charging panel and the key unlock panel, so that's fantastic. It has a reasonably sized, not a massive, but a reasonably sized central storage box, this one over here, the lid of which you're seeing right now on the screen. It has pretty comfortable bucket seats, but that's the same as in Omoda 5 1.5, the very first version. So seats are the same, electrically adjustable, that's fine. Steering wheel is fake leather wrapped, pleasant enough in the hands, definitely more pleasant than the stock version of, let's say, steering wheel of Haval Jolion and even Haval H6 that I had to wrap in order for it to feel pleasant. This I don't think I would even bother wrapping because it's thick enough in my hand and I think it's nice enough. Unfortunately, this steering wheel is not telescopically adjustable. I can't adjust it this way towards myself, but it's tilt adjustable, so that's fine. I also am one of those people who likes a light steering wheel. I like it to be really light. That's just how I like driving. I don't want to wrestle the car or apply particular pressure. This car is supposed to feel really nimble on the road. And this particular one, with enough power right now behind it, and with this very light steering, does feel this way. I'm so pleased. You can hear how excited I am, because I come back to Chery and I come back to testing Omoda 5 not out of nothing to do, but because I have faith and I have hope that the brand that other dealers right now and other people are praising, that it actually learned something from its previous mistakes and that it actually is improving on the product. And they are improving rapidly. Oh my God, I'm so surprised and I'm so positively surprised. I'm so excited for Chery about this kind of stuff. And no, my friends, they are still not paying me as opposed to the popular belief. They're not. This is out of my own volition, out of my own personal impression. I'm so pleased that I didn't waste my time to take a look at it again. Oh, I'm so pleased. This is fantastic. Everything else, look, finishes here are still that slightly rubberized but still plastic at the top of this kind of stuff. It's plastic, but it's rubberized. It's rubberized. It's pleasant. And I can tell you right now, I'm applying pressure here. I'm not a massive dude like Ilya from Klubny Service, but nothing is creaking. Nothing is creaking. Fair is fair. When the first initial couple of versions of Omoda 5 1.5 engine ones that I test drove like a year and a half ago, they were creaking. What do you want me to say? I was driving and everything was creaking. All this stuff was from everywhere. This thing I just test drove to pretty much the same location, and right now I'm applying pressure on it. And I'm applying pressure on it, and I don't know, like only if I start completely hammering it, and the whole car is shaking, by the way, that's when I hear a tiny bit of creak. But anything would creak, my friend. You would creak if I did that to you. Jokes aside, lovely car. I'm so impressed by it. Chery has done so well, iterating fast within a year on this feedback, on its own observations, on its own consumption data. I'm also very impressed that this driver monitoring system or electronic lane keep assist system or anything else, these ADAS systems that are built into these cars, they did not say a word to me the whole time I drove here. That's so fantastic, isn't it? I'm so happy that obviously it's somehow turnable off. It is turnable off. Do you remember how very recently I test drove Tank 300 HEV? And the driver monitoring system may be also turnable off, but it was on at the moment when I was driving. It was like a mother-in-law, constantly interrupting me, constantly telling me I'm exceeding speed limit. It was stressing me out. And this thing, finally, thank you, Chery, shut up. It does what it does. It probably would interfere and start blinging if I do something significantly wrong, but I didn't. And it didn't annoy me. It didn't distract me from the driving. And I finally was able to enjoy my drive. That is all we ask from our manufacturers, from the newcomers to the market. Chery, more of this kind of product, my friends. This is beautiful. This is fantastic. Speaking of beauty, again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. There is no right and wrong here, but oh my God, does this look good outside? Come on, does this look good outside? Again, I'm just a guy who spends a lot of time camping and stuff at the back of the vehicle. So for me, this is a non-starter because it doesn't have space at the back for me, sadly, right? But if Chery gave me a wagon, or if Chery gave me a Jetour, a Traveler, or something like that, if Chery gave me a big SUV or a van, come on Chery, give me a van. Oh man, I'd be all over it. I'd be all over it, especially with this build quality. Now it finally feels like it's where it needs to be. I know I'm gushing and I know I'm repeating myself, but you as a private owner or someone who is seriously considering a purchase of the car in 2024, hopefully this is useful. That's the only reason I'm recording this, man. That's the only reason I'm recording this, because I was the guy who criticized, but I will be the first one who will say they've improved. They have improved, and that's what I'm happy to report to you, my friends. What else is there to say? Nothing else changed really. There is still a sunroof which has a hard non-light transparent cover, which is very good, because in MG, at least in MGs that I see that my wife is driving, there is a cover, but it's transparent, semi-transparent. You close it, but the light still comes through. Here it's non-transparent, which is the only way to make a cover, car manufacturers. If it's a cover, it has to cover it and be non-transparent. So luckily they've done this. It's not a panoramic sunroof, but who needs a panoramic sunroof? This is better than a tiny hole, but not a panoramic sunroof. Plenty to get some fresh air. That's all we need, especially in Australia, hotter countries. You don't need panoramic light on yourself. You don't. At best, you need a little bit of light sometimes on a gloomy day and fresh air. For fresh air, this is plenty. So this is a good balance, Chery. Stick to this. That's great. Spacing, positioning, geometry of the vehicle, same as the old Omoda 5 1.5, except, once again, everything feels more solid, which is, I'm beside myself, and I'm so proud for Chery, and I'm so happy with this realization. So, once again, I would like to just do a final nod and thank my friends at Ride Chery, who have overtaken the placement of the dealership, the old dealership of MG. In case you're wondering where Chery Ride is now, Chery Ride now moved to where MG Ride used to be. And I don't know yet what the fate of MG is, so this is not what this video is about. I'm not alleging anything, I'm not speculating anything. I wish all brands best of luck. But that's where you can find Chery Ride. That's where you can talk to them. They have plenty of these Omoda 5s in stock. And if it was ever worth your while to genuinely, honestly, go there, take the car for a test drive. Once again, I always encourage you to go for a test drive. Never make decisions based on what I said, based on your earlier, like what you read or what you heard, whatever. Go for a test drive, man. But I'm telling you, these latest 1.6 engine ones feel different, drive different, quite nice. Electronics is nice. There are a couple of little kinks I could start picking up on this. The lane monitoring system, the one that reflects silhouettes of the vehicles on the little screen that cannot recognize a bus and thinks it's a big truck. But that's more of a lol kind of command, because who cares if it thinks it's one or another? It's just trying to tell you that there is a massive vehicle on the road next to you if you're blind. But you shouldn't be blind. You should be seeing it by yourself. But I could be nitpicking, but I'm not gonna, because that's not important. What's important is the fact that this vehicle has improved, and now I can absolutely tell you, I absolutely would start considering it, especially in the current very good pricing category. I think that all-wheel drive version of Omoda 5 climbs a little too far high up. They're trying to climb into what I would call Subaru's playground. They're trying to climb with that all-wheel drive technology into where Subaru currently is, and I think it's not a fight that Chery can win right now in 2024. Doesn't mean they shouldn't try, but I just don't think it's worth it. And neither do I think that if you really, truly believe that you are somewhere in Threadbo, you're somewhere in Dubbo, you're somewhere where icing on the road is possible, where you genuinely need all-wheel drive system, I think there are simply better vehicles for it. However, if you're in the city and you want a relatively inexpensive vehicle from an emergent brand, obviously on Australian shores, that is getting better and better and better with every passing month, well, I think I said it enough. I think it's definitely worth your while. And I hope you've enjoyed this video, my friends, for what it's worth. Very quick test drive, very quick first impressions of the new model, at least to the Australian shores, of Chery Omoda 5 1.6 liter engine. Go visit Ride Chery and subscribe for more if you haven't already and you watched this whole video. If you watched the whole video, I appreciate your support, but now there is no reason for you to leave without leaving me a little like before you go. So please do that and come back for more, and we'll talk about something else cars related very soon. Goodbye for now.